Savage by name, but not by nature. Hi guys, this is RACKNLOAD and this is the Savage B22 Precision, and I've got to say I'm pretty impressed. Pretty damn impressed, to be fair. And I'm very impressed with the combination of this rifle, the scope and the bipod bar. I'll sort of talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But yeah, this thing is very impressive. Now, I've owned one or two precision rimfire rifles in the past, one of which I couldn't really get on with. I think it was a bit of a lemon. A couple of videos on that thing where I'm sort of wrapping it around a tree. No, well, almost anyway. Yeah, what was it? That was the RACKNLOAD Precision rimfire. I swear I just had a lemon gun, because I know guys that have got them and they're like laser beams. The one I had, to be fair, was a laser beam to start with, but I don't know, it just went to pot. But anyway, that's another story. So what have we got here? This is the Savage B22 Precision in a very nice even MDT, can never say that, MDT chassis stock, or stock chassis, whatever you want to call it. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about that throughout the video, but this is the combination you get basically with the rifle in this chassis. It's all done through Savage, kindly on loan from Edgar Brothers. Just throw that in the mix. Very, very impressive. I'll show you targets and stuff. It's kind of weird, guys. I'm a little bit out of sync here, because this is the first tabletop review I've done in ages. And I'm having to refer to my idiot board that I've got stuck to the wall. So, okay, so what do I do first? Honestly, it's been a weird few months, guys. Hope everyone is safe anyway and all good and trying to get back to some sort of normality. Anyway, let's press on. Right, I'll throw out some specs on this particular rifle, just referring to Savage's website. So, bolt action, matte black barrel. I'm just reading it as it comes off their website and the specifications. Barrel length is 18 inches or 45.7 centimeters. Barrel material is carbon steel, cold hammer forged. Caliber is 22 rimfire 22LR. You can get it in 22 WMR and you can get it in 17 HMR as well. Magazine capacity in the 22LR is 10 rounds. Right-handed, although it's a right-handed bolt and it's ambidextrous stock pretty much. I mean, I was shooting it left-handed. Those didn't really stick in my cheek that bad. The adjustment to thumb screws for the cheek piece, I'll show you them in a minute in detail. Rotary magazine, again, I'll show you that in detail in a second. Overall length is 36.6 inches or 93 centimeters. 1 in 16 twist rate on the barrel. Receiver material is carbon steel. Stock is aluminium, billet aluminium. The MDT chassis is. Weight is 7.38 pounds or 3.35 kilograms. Okay, it's got the accurate trigger, which most or a lot of companies are copying now. Yeah, very, very good rifle. Very good rifle. I'm well impressed with it. I'll tell you what, let's just jump into specs, shall we? Specs. Guys, seriously, I've got to get into this again, seriously. Let's jump into accuracy straight away. Now, as you can see in the inset footage and a little bit of the footage at the start of this video, it was howling. It was absolutely howling, the wind was. It was gale force. And it's quite funny, actually. Where I usually shoot on this particular range, where I sort of do a little bit of testing, I'm usually set up where where this tree, this like 10-ton tree, 40 blooming metre high tree, is now down across literally where I usually shoot. And it must have fell down on the day because like the leaves were still, you know, they hadn't perished or anything in the sun. So I'm pretty glad I didn't get there a few hours earlier because, well, I won't be doing this video, let me tell you. So accuracy wise, so I'm just getting in my excuses. So basically there's a tree down, big tree down due to that wind. And I was shooting in this wind. Let me roll this. See, I'm ill prepared here. I haven't rolled my target the other way so it doesn't roll up on me. Right, okay. This was with 40 grain Hornady Varmint Express rounds that I was using. Pretty good. They were apparently the best you can use on this particular rifle. So I'm told. I did shoot some CCI and stuff at steel, but target wise, and I was struggling, guys. I was struggling. So this was at 115 yards. My usual marker that marks out 100 yards on this particular range must have been moved because I did laser it sort of halfway through and I was a little bit out, unless I just set my bench a bit further back, I don't know. But 150 yards with Hornady 40 grain round nose Varmint Express. Yeah, baby, I'm happy with that, and that is the best one. I think actually I remember I waited for the wind to really die down to take that one, take that particular group. Yeah, I have put gale force wind on there because it was, guys, it was blowing. You can see in the footage it was blowing. You can probably hear it as well. So not bad. Those groups would be even tighter, obviously at 100 yards if you're testing MOA and without any wind. So, and we were shooting I say we, me and my boy were shooting this thing, and he's 7 years old and he was nailing a steel gong at 148 yards with this thing, and it was only like a little lipstick style steel gong. He was nailing it, absolutely nailing it, and God, I was welling up, guys. I was like, oh my God, he's after my job. So yeah, pretty damn accurate. Due to the weather, you know, it was just dead windy. So what can I say? That they are the results I got on that day of testing. If you're interested, that was with the can as well. So if you're interested, the can I was using was a Wildcat Evolution. This is it. It's in the cover. I did put the cover on just to, I know they don't get hot through shooting, but it's more getting hot through the sun because it was pretty hot. Hot day, although it was windy, but not only that, they look badass in these Precision covers anyway. So, you know, for the look. Right then, let's have a closer look at this bad boy then. So, let's talk about the magazines. Now, I've probably got a bit of a gripe about the magazines, if I'm honest. Now, they are rotary magazines, okay? Just like your, I'm just looking for one, your Ruger 1022 magazines. Have I got one? I've got mags. I've got mags everywhere. Hang on a sec. No, I don't know where that's gone. I don't know where it's gone. But yeah, Ruger 1022 magazines, which, if I am honest, I think are better than these. But no, this was all right. It performed all right. After a bit, it was a little bit sort of, when you're pushing the rounds in, that corner there was, I don't know, it was a little bit sort of sharp as you push the rounds in, because you've got to sort of push them down and in to sort of rotate it. Yeah, I didn't have any problems with the magazines. This bit here, there's no magazine release on the actual rifle. It's actually on the mag. So that's it there. How would that fare in time, I wonder? It is sort of spring loaded. Would that sort of, I mean, it's plastic, so I don't know, what happens if you snap that off? That's it, your mag's screwed, isn't it? I don't know. On a real cold day, you know, sort of sub-zero temperatures, would that snap off maybe if you caught it wrong? I don't know. But no, all in all, pretty good magazines. Not amazing, I don't think, in my opinion. I don't know, that's the first time I've seen an actual mag release on a mag rather than the rifle. A little bit uncomfortable to load, but hey ho. 10 rounds, 10 round capacity in 2.2 rimfire. So let's talk about the rest of this thing then. So if you're interested, by the way, that is a Bushnell Forge scope. I believe that is a, what is it? It is a, I'm gonna have to look, 3-24 times 50, I think. Oh, yeah, it is, I think. Yeah, it is. And pretty damn good scope. I am impressed with the Forges, I must admit, from Bushnell. I've used several now, probably this exact same scope because this is on a demo rifle. But very nice scope. I do like the quick throw lever there that comes as standard on the Bushnell Forge. Really nice, really nice. Nice touch. That, by the way, is a Magpul bipod. I am going to do a review on that because I'm well impressed with it. So keep an eye on the channel. Do a separate review on that little bipod. Very impressive. Very impressive. Right then. So let's talk about this in a bit more detail in the usual rack and load style. So MDT chassis stock. Very impressive. Nice. Softish, yeah, pretty soft rubber. I'd say sort of medium rubber on there. Got a bit of a texture just to give it some grip in the shoulder. Don't like calling them butt hooks because that sounds a little bit surgical for me. So stock hook there, so you can really sort of pull this thing in. Butt hook, it just sounds wrong. Butt pad as well, that sounds wrong. It just sounds like things you'd find in a hospital or something. Adjustable cheek piece there, ambidextrous, absolutely, definitely. Apart from them things, but I didn't really have a problem with them. Dead easy to adjust, you don't need any tools, you can just basically do that. So really, really good. Solid billet milled stock chassis there, whatever you want to call it. Aluminium, very, very, very nice. It's quite funny, I've got a Desert Tech SRS on test at the minute. This thing, and that's in 308, and this thing is heavier. You know, weight is good. I mean, that scope, it is a big scope, to be fair. Weight is good when it comes to accuracy, there's no doubt about it. Pistol grip, very impressive pistol grip. Really do like that. It is an AR configuration, or I guess you could call it, so you could swap that out if you wanted a different one on there if you wanted. I wouldn't, I'd leave it. The MDT one is really nice. It's got a nice sort of swell on it just to give plenty of grip. Rubberized as well. Can't fault the grip. Definitely can't fault the grip. Moving on to the actual, let's talk about the bolt. Let's get the bolt out and give you a closer look. Now, bolt wise, I am a bit of a bolt snob if I'm going to be perfectly honest. Yeah, it's, you know, it's nice. It does what it says on the tin, doesn't it? That's the main thing. But I always like to have a good look at bolts and just sort of see the quality of the build and everything. And pretty good. I probably favour CZ if I'm honest. You know, the build of a CZ. I've not got a CZ. No, I've not got a CZ in here. I do like they just feel more solid than most. I'm not sort of having it, you know, I'm not sort of slating Savage here. I'm just a bit of a, when it comes to bolt action rim fires, I do like the CZ bolts. I don't know, they do feel solid. Tikkas are pretty good as well. You know, Tikka T1X, that bolt is damn solid and silky smooth straight out of the box. This thing, you know, this is a demo rifle. It's not a brand, you know, a straight out of the box rifle. So it has had some rounds through it, but you know, hang on, if I can get it back in. Can I get it back in? I will get it back in, I promise, guys. Might have to stop the video, but I'll get it back in. There we go, bolt in. Just had to do a bit of editing there. So yeah, bolt is pretty smooth, pretty solid. It definitely feels better than a Ruger's bolt, if I'm perfectly honest. Definitely feels better than the Ruger Precision Rimfire's bolt. And I've owned one, so, you know, that's, speaking of experience. But yeah, bolt, very nice. I do like the big bolt handle on there. Does it really need it? Not really, but it does feel good and it looks good. So, you know, and it just suits this chassis really well. It really does. It just finishes it off really well. Picatinny rail on top as standard. So just to give you that little bit more elevation. This thing, I really do think you could reach this thing out pretty far. I was going to sort of really stretch it out. That was my plan when I took this rifle out. I was going to take it to sort of 200 yards plus, but that wind, it was just, it weren't even worth trying. It would have just been impossible. I was happy that I got sort of around the 150 yard mark on steel. So, but yeah, that would have been the plan. But I don't know. We'll do some long range rimfire stuff in another video. Barrel, like I said, carbon steel, cold hammer forged. It is threaded. I think that is 1/2 inch UNEF, which is always annoying when, I'm sure it is actually, because I had to put an adapter on there to get my can on there. Yeah, that definitely looks UNEF to me. Bit of a fine thread. Finding that a lot now on new guns, UNEF. It's more of the American thread size, isn't it? It's a bit of a pain when you've got loads of cans and stuff in UNF. So you have to start messing about and with other adapters and stuff. Taking a look at the magwell. Like I said, there's no mag release because it is on the magazine itself. So this thing is heavy. It is heavy with this scope. Tang safety catch, which I like, if I'm honest. I'm always honest, you know me, guys. I do like it, although it is a bit, I don't know, it's somewhat inaccessible, kind of. It's sort of tucked away down here. It feels just awkward to get. I don't know. You can't beat crossbolt ones, can you? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. I didn't even use it, to be fair. So let's give the trigger a pull. I have mentioned the trigger, AccuTrigger there. Anyone who doesn't know what an AccuTrigger is, it's real nice trigger. And you've got, like, I always call them a Glock style safety there. So you've got to pull the middle bit basically to release the trigger. Now this is something you may have just noticed that then. Savages, this threw me out on a particular rifle. It's a centerfire rifle. Can't think off the top of my head what it was now. A few videos back, and I was struggling with the trigger because if you push it, it's like a safety feature. If you push it sideways or diagonally, I'm sure it did it then. May not have done. It like kicks in a bit of a safety thing. Yeah, it did it then. It almost like, let's see if we can sort of demonstrate that. So it's cocked there, and if you just catch the trigger slightly, it clicks and then it won't fire. It sort of locks out the trigger. That is a safety thing. So you've got to make sure that you get your trigger pull absolutely coming straight back to you. If you do it diagonally, it's almost like it decocks itself, and then look, it just locks up the trigger. I don't know whether I like that. I didn't like it on the Centerfire version because I thought there was a problem with it. It was only when one of the guys from Edgar Brothers, who basically loaned the rifle to me, kindly on loan from Edgar Brothers, like I said at the beginning of the video. He bought me, it was basically a cut down version of the trigger, and he explained to me how it worked, and you could actually see it as like a cut down mechanism of the trigger, and it was basically a safety feature, and it's ever, I don't know, it's ever so strange. I don't know whether I like it. I do like the safety aspect of it, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, I just thought there was a fault with it, if I'm honest, but I don't know. But, you know, for safety, that's cool. If you're not pulling the trigger back correctly, it's not going to fire. So it's as simple as that. Let's give this thing a pull while we talk about the trigger. Pretty damn low the trigger is, or light even. Low, what am I on about? On the Edgar Brothers, on Savage's website, it says it will pull from 1.5 pounds to 5 pounds. So I don't know what it's set at now, but it is pretty light. My trigger gauge ain't even working now. Let's try again. Okay. Oh, 1 pound. Let's say 13 ounces. So sort of nearly 2 pounds in it on that trigger. That is a real nice trigger. I do like the trigger. I do like the. It's almost got like with the safety blade there. If that's what you want to call it. That is almost like a first stage. So you sort of pull that, and then you've got your second stage. So I do like it. There's nothing wrong with having safety features, is there, guys? I mean, I think one of my biggest gripes with particularly air rifles is automatic safety catches, especially on multi-shot air rifles. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but that just bugs me. You know, why would you have a multi-shot air rifle where you want to get multiple shots off pretty rapid and have an automatic safety that you've got to disengage after every shot? It defeats the object, but that's air guns. But no, the trigger, yeah, some it won't bother people, others it'll annoy the hell out of them, especially if, for example, say if you was wearing gloves, if you know, maybe if you was doing some hunting with this in the winter or something, you were wearing gloves. Don't know, I'd go for a lighter rifle myself hunting, but maybe if you were, you've just got to be careful with that trigger, pretty much. Moving on to the fore end. Yeah, let's move on to the fore end. You've got M-lock slots there, so that's really nice. So you can throw on accessories, and that, like as mentioned, is the Magpul bipod. Very impressed with that. I shall do a separate video on that because that has really impressed me. That thing is, for how much it weighs and how it performs, dead impressive. So let's show you. I'll just show it you in Savage's brochure. Loads of stuff in Savage's brochure. Loads of stuff on to get hold of, guys. Can't wait to get one of them. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but upcoming videos. Renegade, I've got to get one of them. So got to get one of them. In fact, let me find the rifle that I was talking about. I think it was the 110 tactical, actually. It was the Savage 110 tactical. Where is it? Long range. that was it. It was the 110 Tactical. Yeah, love that rifle, but that trigger just threw me out. It was, I don't know, it was just odd. It was just odd. It was particularly noticeable on the 110 Tactical because, I don't know, it just, I catch the trigger wrong, sort of pull it diagonally instead of straight back, and it'd be like click, and I'd be like, oh, is that a dud round or what? So I was checking for light strikes and everything, and just weird, really weird. But then I found out what the trigger actually does. You just got to be pulling it back right. So, okay, so this is the B series of Savages, I can't say that, Savages rimfires. Excuse me. B series Precision, there's your Precision there. You've got some, what's that, the Overwatch, so that's a bit of a Hunter there. So yeah, some nice models, some real nice models. You've got them in the nice woodwork, real nice woodwork there. Stainless version. But this is, like I said, this is the Precision version. So this, I reckon, will appeal to, say, the Hunters Challenge guys. They'll like that. That's popular here in the UK, where you basically engage different targets in like a natural environment, almost like field target shooting, but for rimfires. This thing will appeal to those guys. I really do think so. Target shooters, obviously not mega serious target shooters, because they'll want like a, you know, a proper target rifle with all their blooming leather gear and bondage that they have to wear. No offense, target shooters, I'm just having a laugh. But yeah, I think this will just really appeal to a variety of people. It really will. But anyway, I think I've covered everything. Let me just have a quick scout round. Yeah, pretty much covered everything, guys. That is your rack and load review of the Savage B22 Precision rimfire for you target shooters, or for you guys that really want good results. I recommend this. Just I'm not sure about the mags, and that trigger gets some getting used to. It really does, but it is a good trigger. That's why everyone is copying it. They're not really copying that sort of sideways movement that decocks it, but no, really like it. Excellent combination with the Bushnell Forge as well, and really love that Magpul bipod. Anyway, that is Rack and Load. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.